afternoon.
So, how are things working with your mini project? Just great. We're gonna do some try catch now. We had it last week, the link, but I moved it for this week, so I will show you just a moment. Where did it disappear? Yeah, I'm gonna share my screen also, otherwise you won't see it. Do you see anything yet? Now it should work, yes. So we are here at the day 13, so I inserted this error handling with try catch. So you had this link last week, so I moved it for this week. If you haven't managed to do it, it's having 3 different links. The one that is easiest to understand is this last one from W3 Schools. They are always like the basic explanation, so it's easy to understand almost anything that is from the W3 Schools. They are maybe not that deep in the knowledge, but it's giving you a hint about things, how it's working, so you will get more information in the other links. We're going to do an example also with this, how you could use it. So I'm going to share my screen. I was going to tell, but I'm already doing it. I'm going to start a new project in Visual Studio. So another console application. You know this by now. So just go for create here. So now I have an empty project here, or almost empty. So what I want to do now is I want to use this try catch. And it's pretty much what the name is telling you also, that you are trying something, and if something goes wrong, you are catching the problem. So where can I use it then? That's the question. So if I make something inside here in my code, for example, I'm just going to tell you that enter a car brand, for example. This is not the best examples maybe, but they will catch the errors. So, and I'm going to read this input from the user from a console read line. And then I have, for example, a string array. Remember a string array, what it was? And I'm going to call it array. And I could do it in a size of 1, for example. Remember the arrays needed a size. It's not like a list that is accepting everything. So now I want to add this input into this array. And let's say that I try to add it to a position that doesn't exist inside the array. So I say it's in position 10 and the size is only 1. So this will not work. And you know that. Console read line in the end here also. So if you try to run this, we'll see what happens. So I run this. And I enter a name, a Volvo, for example, and press enter. And you see something happened here. Exception unhandled. System index out of range exception. So this means actually that your application has crashed. So you would need to start over again to make it work. So what you could do with try catch, you see this is an index out of range exception. So this means that this is some sort of error that it's generated from the code. So we could catch this error with help of try catch. So we could do like adding a try here with this early braces. We could do like in the end. So this section is what I want to try. This is my code I want to try. But I need a catch also. If something goes wrong, I will end up inside the catch. So the catch could be like written like this, for example. So we can take out an exception from it. And giving it the variable name, so we could see some data about this error. So we could, for example, do a console write line here with just exception, or we could use data from the exception also. We could do another console write line and take this exception variable, and you will see it's containing a lot of things here. So there's also something called a message inside here. So this is a message telling you what is wrong from the exception. So if I try this now and run it again, so this will generate an exception, and we will end up here in the code. So it will write out the things without the application crashing. So it will be still in running, so to speak. So we try this. So we do this Volvo again here. Volvo, yeah, doesn't matter what I enter. It's not going to work anyway. And you see that it's just showing me some data inside the application. The first one here is the complete exception. It's giving a lot of information, but what is interesting with the second line here is the message we printed out. This is telling us that the index was outside the bounds of the array. So this means that we were trying to add something into the array that it was not existing. So we could, in this case, it's not easy for the user to do something, but because we have it hard coded in the background. But in this way, you could give the user some messages about the problem, or if we could do another example also. That will be more clearer. What I'm trying to say now is that this exception is, we were quoting this or catching this. It's a general exception. There are a lot of exceptions generated from different parts of from the .NET, for example. So we could actually catch this specific exception. So you could catch a lot of different exceptions. So you could do it like this. And there is an index out of range exception. So this was exactly the exception that was generated. So if you want to check on different exceptions, for example, so you could easily do it by this way. So this could you could handle this, so it will not end up here anymore if you are catching the specific exception. If it's not of this type, it will run to this exception, because this one is catching everything. So I'm going to do a console write line here just to print out some data. We could do it like, yeah. I would have type here an error accord. Cannot spell that word. Something like that. We could print out same type of message like here. It will be the same message actually, but the only thing here is we are catching this specific exception. So we will end up in this code. We could have a try catch here, or try catch, a breakpoint. So we will see where we end up with this sort of error. So I'm just going to press enter here. It doesn't matter what I actually do here. But you will see it ends up here because the exception is of this type. And it will print out this information and just continue. So it will jump over this part because it already found this exact exception that I was catching. So we could see what this output is here. So you will see it just typed out what I had in the console write lines in the catch part. So this is meaning that you have control still of the application. It hasn't crashed, so you need to restart the application because you could do things here to fix problems with this inside the catch part. I don't know exactly what would be a result inside here, but we are only interested in catching this exception. So I'm going to do another example also that we could use another problem that could occur. We could do that I do some copy paste. My favorite. I'm going to remove this code so it's not generated anymore. So we could do enter a number instead and do something else. We could enter a number and we could try to convert a string to an array, to a number. So the string is inputted as a value and we want to convert it. So we've done this before also. So I'm going to tell that this value is equals to convert to int 32 and I have the input. And you know that if I run this and input just like ABC, the string ABC, this will not be able to do it. The conversion will crash. The correct way should be to use the try parse. So this will generate an error also. So we could try just to run it and see what's happening. So this, instead of entering a number, I just do ABC, so I know this will crash. This would crash and give some error, but now we have this catch here that it's catching this exception. So you will see the information if I go for this E variable here. You will see it's holding a lot of information. And you could see that it's a throw, overflow, or format exception here. So we could catch a format exception, for example. And you see also here we have the message that is generated also. So I could go for doing like another catch instead. So this is the general exception that is catching it. So it was not of this type. Yeah, so it passed this one and ended up inside here. So if I were to catch this type of exception, it could be like catch. I think it was format exception, yeah. So it will end up in this place instead. We could say that this is format exception. Yeah, we could try to run this also. So we will end up inside here then. So enter a number and I do A, B, C, and it will tell you that this is a format exception. So this is up to what you are telling in the what message to show. So this could be like you're having a while loop and you could say to the user, this was not a number, and try again, and then we are repeating the question. So like we've been doing with the try parse, for example. So this would do the same thing. Maybe it's better to have the checks on that level that you maybe do the try parse, because you want to have a number that is working. But this will also do the job for you. I'm going to have a halfway check on the chat here. Nothing about it. So this could be done. We could do another also example. Let's see if I can find it. We do something else instead here. Let's enter to generate a large number, for example. These are bad examples, but I'm doing this just to make it possible to generate these errors. So that's why. So I could take an input here for the console read line. I'm not going to use that value in the read line, so it's not necessary to read the input either. I'd copy away this problem so it will happen again. And I could do some mathematic trying to generate a large value that is too big for an integer, for example. And I could do it by, there is this calculation math and power. And so this is a number raised to another number. So if I do like a really big number like this is raised to the same number maybe. This is now complaining about that is double to int, so I need to convert it. I'm just trying to make a big number that is not possible to be an integer. But as I'm doing this, I'm generating a double, so I want to convert it to integer. So this will be a really large number that is much bigger than the integer can be. So this will also generate an exception. So we will end up, if we have breakpoints on every place, we will end up in this exception because we have no separate handling for that exception. So we're going to run this. So we could just, I was misspelling generate, but that doesn't matter. I just press enter here and you will see that we end up here inside this general exception. And you could see on this E, you could right click on it, go for quick watch also if you want to see all the data at the same time. So you will see that this one, I wanted to see what type it was. Do I not see the exception type? Yeah, it should be maybe here. No. We're going to run this just to see what its output is. You will see here, yes, here it's telling you. It's a system overflow exception. And the value is either too large or too small for an int 32. So that is the problem for us now. So what we could do is we could catch this specific also. Having another catch here. You were thinking, why is she showing a lot of different catches? It's because all different, if you're working with databases, for example, later on, that we're going to do that, there will be specific database exceptions. So you could catch a specific exception and check that exception. If it's of a certain type, maybe you could do something with the information. That's why I'm showing you that there are different types of exceptions. So this was an overflow exception. And I could do like it's not necessary to do a console write line here. This is just for showing you that it's what information we have. Normally you would do something inside the catch. Maybe log the data to a log file, or if you have gotten a fault inside your application, maybe you want to log it. So you could see it later on what errors have been generated. So this is also to protect the application from crashing. So you could do something instead of crashing it. So we could, we just could do it like this. It doesn't matter. I'm going to show you another thing also. Where did I go now? So this is not necessary to test again. What I want to show you now is that we could actually have this in, we could move everything, this try catch, to maybe another method. So I'm going to highlight this try catch and see what it's helping me to do. So let's see if I can generate, hello. Oh, did I have this? Here I have this icon, extract method. That was the one I was searching for. So this will move all my code to a new method. So it's asking for this name, this Visual Studio thing. So I just name it do things, for example. So it will create a method for me automatically. So now you see in this main section, I only have do things and this console readline that I had. And all code is now in this do things. So I could call this, so I could actually have another level of try catch here. And I put that around this. So I'm going to show you that it's possible to pass errors that are happening here back to this level. So we could do this also here. We could have a catch inside also. We could, in this level, we could catch a normal exception, the general exception, for example. And that's also something you've probably seen if you have been reading about try catch. There is something called finally. Finally, I didn't spell it all right. Finally, yes. And finally is something that you could do something in the end of a try catch. If everything is okay in the try catch, you will end up in the finally. And if something is wrong inside the try, you will end up in the catch and then into the finally part. So This could be do something also if it's something you need to handle in your application. So what I want to show now is that we could catch an error from another level of your software. So I could tell that maybe catching an exception. That was not many writes in that one, except like that. That's looking better. In method, yeah, I'm just overdoing this so it's obvious. And we could like present the message with and just adding the exception message like that. So what I need to do then, if I'd like have this, we're gonna try it with this overflow that was the last one we were using. So we could do it like, could throw a new message from this. So we are catching an exception, and we throw a new exception that will be catched in the higher level. So you could write it like this. So a new exception, and you could just make your own message if you want to. Try use a smaller number. This is not possible because everything is hard coded, so this is just making up things here. So what I want to show you is that if we end up here in this type, it will throw a new exception. I'm just doing a general exception. So this exception will pass out of this method and we will be catching it here. So you could have like different levels of the try catch also. So let's try it and see if it's working. So we should get this message catching an exception in method to do things and then some information about the message. So this was just, I just press enter and you know it will try to calculate something that is too big number. And you will see the message, only message we have now is catching an exception in method do things. Try use a smaller number. So this is just to show you that you could pass the one level of try catch and send the exception, just throw it away again. So someone else is catching it. Because the first try catch where we are doing things here, and this is where it will stop first. We have a try catch. So if you want to have it also in this level, you need to throw it again. So let's see what we have in the chat here. So it's full with questions. Hardy is asking about a good day. Yes, it's a good day. I don't think we're going to do any deeper of this thing. Do you see any use of try catch in your coding? Are you still there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, you are there. Yes, you were.
Yes.
I thought I was alone.
No, we are here. Just trying to adjust.
It's going
So
to be
this-
a double yes. I'm here and it will be useful.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So, and this finally thing, it could be doing like anything. So I could just present another message here. Yes, but normally you would do something inside. You don't just doing console write lines. You would do something creative with the error, like storing it for logging and showing the user that something is wrong and maybe tell the user what to do. Normally when I use try catch, it's normally with things that I don't have control over. Like if I'm connecting the application to an external service, maybe it's a weather service that is getting weather data. I don't have the control over it. I know how to use it. So for the normal use, it's okay, but I add a try catch around it. If they are doing something on their side, on the service side, changing something, or it's the service is, yeah, whatever is down. Instead of crashing my program, I could do a try catch, and if the weather service is not useful, I pass that thing, so I don't have it in showing the information in my application. So when I started programming, they said that a good programmer doesn't need try catch because he knows how to handle everything, or she. So maybe there's something inside that also. That's saying, but it's a little bit of safety to have it. You should try to catch the things without try catch first. So trying to figure out what could be wrong in your code, and having the try catch as a final thing, catching things that you haven't thought about. So you should be able to show the user information that something is wrong, and yeah, maybe you don't know the error, but tell the user to try it again or restart the software or whatever. So it's a nice thing to avoid your application from crashing and no one is knowing what went wrong. Do you have any questions about try catch? Yeah, I was adding this finally thing, so just telling everything is okay. This will I will end up here, even if we do things is okay, or if we end up in a catch situation, it will end up in this finally if you have this section. It's not needed all the times. Most of the times it's just enough for the try catch. So we just see that this is also working. So it's catching exception, try small number, and it's say everything is okay. So we are pretending now that we have fixed something. So the finally is always part of that. If it's a part of the try catch, it's always a run. So you will end up in the finally section. So Eyad, is the try catch optional to if statements? Does both work in the specific situation, or when should one use the best technique? I would go for checking things without try catch first. So catch as much faults as possible without try catch, and then have a try catch around it. So you have the if statements for, in your example, inside the try. So you are checking things and finding the problems yourself. But if something happens that you haven't thought about, then the try catch will catch your problem. But as I mentioned, I shouldn't use it all the time. So try to use it in parts that are not there. There you don't have the full control of what's happening. If you, for example, having a connection to a third-party solution or something like that. So through maybe over the internet, getting some information from the internet, maybe a currency service that you are connecting to, and maybe they made some update to the service and it's not working for you anymore. It could be nice to have a try catch for that. Why not use it slow? I'm actually not sure about the performance about it, so I only have it in my mind from the background when I started programming. It was that don't overuse it. So probably it's having something with performance to do. Saves a lot of code, but not actually hardy. What you need to handle the information also. You cannot have just try catch about everything and not having any functionality. So you should solve the things with code without try catch. Otherwise, you will just generate you made something wrong for the user. Whatever he does, you made something wrong. Try again. Yeah, it saves a lot of code, but the user will stop using your application if he doesn't know what he made wrong. Do you have any more questions? I get information about bad network quality. Do you still hear me? Okay, so this was maybe a message from maybe I didn't have the problem. Do you have any more questions about try catch? So if you need more information about it, have a look at the links and try the W3 schools if you are new to the programming. So this is the easiest way to understand. Okay, Ernst, you're also having this information about bad network quality. I had it a few times, but I never had any problems, no visual problems or no sound problems. Yes, Hardy, that's it's a perfect way to have the try catches. You're working with an API. So an API could be something that is on the internet service, like getting weather data, currencies, getting stock market information, or something like that. So that is the perfect way to have the try catch because you don't have the control of what's happening on the other side, what the third party solution is giving you. And also when in projects that I've been working on, we also had many times around the database connections and things like that. So even if they are giving some kind of error messages and so on, you could catch some things with a try catch. So something unexpected is happening. So if you don't have any more questions about it, please continue with your mini project. Does everyone understand what to do with a mini project? I take that for a yes.
I have few things what I sent you my code in private chat, so please you can see and tell me is that right or wrong.
Okay, I have a look on this afterwards then. So you sent it on the private chat or?
No, I'm going to send.
Okay, yes, I'm gonna have a look on that. So if anyone else has problems, please send a message to me or Ernst. So we will try to help you. So if you don't understand what you're expected to do with this mini project, just let us know. So we will help you. Okay, otherwise, happy coding, and we see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock.
Yes, thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
Bye.
Bye.